Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that separates the good from the great, the dreamers from the doers, and the average from the extraordinary. That something is mindset. Because winning doesn't start with talent, money, or luck. Winning starts with the mindset. Before any real success can be achieved, there has to be belief. Belief is the foundation of a winning mindset. It's not just some fluffy motivational quote. It's the spark that ignites all action. You have to believe that your goals are not only worth chasing, but that you are capable of reaching them. This belief becomes your internal compass. Without it, even the most talented individuals hesitate, doubt, or give up. But with belief, even an underdog can rise and achieve what seemed impossible. Think about the people who made it to the top in any field, sports, business, art, science. Most of them weren't handed a golden ticket. Many started with nothing but an unshakable belief that they could win no matter what the odds looked like. That belief gave them the courage to take the first step, the strength to keep going, and the confidence to trust themselves when no one else did. Belief shapes your self-image, and how you see yourself directly influences how you act. You see yourself as weak, unworthy, or incapable, then you'll act that way. You'll play it safe, you'll settle, but if you believe you're a winner, even if you're not there yet, you'll show up differently. You'll carry yourself with purpose. You'll speak with confidence. You'll put in the extra work because you know deep down that you're building something real. Belief is powerful because it doesn't require permission. You don't need to wait for someone else to validate your dream. You don't need to collect trophies or praise before you decide to believe in yourself. That's the key difference between people who succeed and those who stay stuck. Winners choose belief first. Long before they have proof, they bet on themselves. And when you bet on yourself, you unlock something special. Action, real, focused, intentional action. Belief is what gets you out of bed early, what keeps you pushing when things get hard, and what helps you keep your eyes on the bigger picture when life tries to distract you. It gives you energy, direction, and determination. It's what fuels discipline on the days you don't feel motivated. Without belief, it's too easy to quit at the first sign of difficulty. Without belief, doubt creeps in and slows everything down. But when you believe in what you're doing and who you're becoming, you keep going, not because it's easy, but because you know it's worth it. Belief is also contagious. When you believe in yourself, others start to believe in you too. You inspire people. You become the kind of person others want to support, follow, or work with. That kind of energy is magnetic. And it all starts with what you think about yourself. Winning then doesn't start with medals, success stories, or big breaks. It starts with a choice. A choice to believe, even in silence, even in struggle, even when nothing around you looks like success yet. It's in those quiet moments when no one is watching that belief is either built or broken. Winners choose to build it. They remind themselves of their goals. They focus on their vision and they act like they belong in the winner's circle long before they ever get there. That mindset is what sets them apart. So if you want to win, start by choosing belief. Decide right now that you're capable, that you're worthy, and that your time is coming. Then move like it. Failure is not the opposite of winning. It's part of the process. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has experienced moments of defeat, setbacks, and disappointment. What separates winners from everyone else isn't that they avoid failure, but that they respond to it with resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back stronger after being knocked down. Resignation lesson. It's the inner strength to keep going when things don't go as planned, when life gets messy, and when your hard work doesn't immediately pay off. Most people are stopped by failure. They see it as proof that they're not good enough, that their dream isn't realistic, or that it's just not meant to be. But people with a winning mindset view failure differently. They don't take it personally. They take it as a lesson. They use it to improve. Every failure becomes feedback, a signal of what to adjust, what to sharpen, and what to do better next time. Resilient people don't let failure define them. They let it refine them. There's a major difference. Life doesn't hand out victories to those who want them. It hands out challenges. And how you respond to those challenges is everything. Resilience teaches you patience, grit, and emotional strength. It teaches you to stay calm under pressure, to push forward without needing instant results, and to believe in the bigger picture, even when the present moment feels heavy. Some of the greatest success stories came after repeated failures. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. J.K. Rowling was rejected by dozens of publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. What did they all have in common? They didn't stop. They didn't let the sting of failure convince them to quit. They got back up every time, more focused and more determined. That's resilience in action. And here's the truth. Building resilience doesn't happen in comfort zones. It's built in the tough moments, in the losses, in the times you question yourself. It's built when things go wrong, but you show up anyway. And the more you face failure with resilience, the stronger you become. You start to trust yourself more. You stop being afraid of failing because you know you can handle it. You know you won't crumble. That kind of mindset is unstoppable. Resilience also brings clarity. When you go through tough times and keep going, you learn what really matters to you. You discover your values, your limits, and your priorities. You get real with yourself. You become more focused, more grounded, and more committed to the path you've chosen. That clarity sharpens your vision and strengthens your drive. And over time, that consistent bounce back effort leads to success. Not just success in the external sense, but a deeper sense of confidence and pride in who you are. The world doesn't always reward effort immediately, but effort never goes to waste. Every time you fall and rise again, you grow, you evolve, and you move closer to your goals. So when failure shows up, and it will, don't see it as the end. See it as a test of how bad you want it, a test of how strong your mindset really is. Winners don't win because everything goes their way. They win because they refuse to give up. They embrace failure, learn from it, and rise again every single time. That's the mindset that leads to lasting success. That's the mindset that turns failure into fuel. That's resilience. And it's one of the most powerful tools you can develop if you want to win. Talent is a gift, but focus is a choice. And in the long run, it's focus that separates winners from everyone else. The world is full of talented people who never reach their full potential. Why? Because talent without direction is like a sports car with no driver. It might have all the power, but it's going nowhere. On the other hand, a person with average talent but laser sharp focus can go far beyond what anyone expected. Focus is the ability to keep your attention locked on what matters. It's the discipline to stay committed to your goals, even when distractions are everywhere. And in today's world, distractions are constant. Social media, opinions, quick dopamine hits, drama, self-doubt, they're all waiting to pull you off track. But when you have a focused mindset, you learn to block out the noise and keep your eyes on your path. You stop wasting energy on things that don't align with your purpose. You stop trying to do 100 things at once, and you start doing a few things, the right things, really well. That's when progress happens. Consistent focus beats inconsistent brilliance every time. I want you to do. Someone might have more raw talent than you, but if they lack discipline and keep switching directions, they won't make it far. Meanwhile, your focus compounds. Each day you show up, you build. Each small step adds up. And before long, your momentum becomes unstoppable. Focus also sharpens your skills. Talent gives you a head start, sure. But focused practice turns potential into mastery. Focused people don't just work hard, they work smart. They study their craft, refine their weaknesses, and double down on their strengths. They're intentional about how they spend their time, and they constantly ask themselves, is this moving me closer to my goal or pulling me away? That level of self-awareness is powerful. It builds habits, and habits build success. Focused people also have clarity. They know what they want and why they want it. That clarity keeps them grounded when doubt creeps in. It keeps them motivated when things get tough. And it gives their actions a sense of purpose because when you know your why, you don't need constant motivation to keep going. You just go. You act. You execute. That's what focused winners do. They don't waste time comparing themselves to others. They don't chase shortcuts. They put their heads down and do the work day after day, knowing that every bit of effort counts. Even when it's slow, even when it's boring, especially then, because that's when most people quit. The focused people, they stay locked in and eventually they rise above the rest. That's why focus is such a game changer. It turns effort into results. It turns small wins into big victories. It's not flashy, but it's effective. And while talent can fade or be outmatched, focus is something you can strengthen every single day. The best part, you don't need to be born with it. You just have to decide. You have to choose what matters most to you and then give it your full attention. Eliminate distractions. Prioritize your goals. Be intentional with your time. That's how you win. So remember this. Being talented might give you a head start, but it's your focus that takes you across the finish line. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and stay locked in on your mission. Because in the end, it's not about who has the most talent. It's about who has the focus to finish what they started. The moment you adopt a growth mindset, everything begins to shift. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and skills are fixed. They can be developed through effort, learning, and experience. This simple but powerful belief unlocks your full potential because it changes how you see challenges, how you handle failure, and how you define success. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, a person with a growth mindset thinks, I can't do this yet. That one word, yet, makes all the difference. It opens the door to possibility. It gives you permission to try, to fail, to improve, and to keep moving forward. People who succeed at the highest levels aren't always the ones who start with the most skill. They're often the ones who are most willing to learn, evolve, and grow. They don't see themselves as finished products. They see themselves as a constant work in progress. That's a powerful position to be in because it means you never stop improving. A growth mindset turns obstacles into opportunities. Instead of running from difficulty, you embrace it, knowing that every challenge is a chance to level up. When you hit a wall, you don't give up. You look for another way. You study harder. You train longer. You ask better questions. You become obsessed with getting better, not just with looking good. This mindset builds humility and hunger. Humility to admit you don't know everything, and hunger to keep striving anyway. Control the teachable that keeps you coachable. Why teachable? Open to feedback. And that openness makes you unstoppable. Because you're not tied to where you are now, you're focused on where you're going. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, keeps people stuck. It says, this is just how I am, or I'm not good at that, and uses as an excuse to stop trying. But no one is born great. Greatness is earned through curiosity, consistency, and the courage to keep learning. A growth mindset keeps you in motion. It makes you curious instead of discouraged, motivated instead of defeated. It helps you see criticism not as an attack, but as a tool for progress. It transforms effort from something people avoid into something you take pride in because you understand that every drop of effort is shaping you into something better. And when you embrace this way of thinking, you unlock a new level of freedom. You stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with your past self. You start measuring your progress in growth, not just results. And that shift keeps you resilient because even when results are slow, you can see the internal changes. You can feel yourself getting sharper, stronger, more capable. And that alone keeps you going. People with growth mindsets don't fear failure because they know failure is part of the path. They're not embarrassed by being a beginner because they understand that mastery starts at zero. They don't chase perfection. They chase progress. And that mindset keeps them moving forward when others stall. Over time, this compound growth becomes visible. You gain skills. You earn respect. You build confidence, not because you were always the best, but because you never stopped getting better. That's the real power of a growth mindset. It doesn't just help you succeed. It makes success sustainable. It fuels your journey for the long run. So if you want to reach your full potential, stop asking if you're talented enough, smart enough, or ready enough. Start asking, am I willing to grow? Am I willing to keep going even when it's hard? Am I open to becoming more than I am today? Because when the answer is yes, when you choose growth, there's no limit to how far you can go.